I fell in love with a certain person when I was about in third or fourth grade, and I saw her on TV, and I knew I wanted to be her. And that person, she only passed away a few years ago on New Year's Eve night. And I am obsessed with Betty White. I am completely obsessed with game shows because of her. I am. When I was a kid, I never asked for like G.I. Joe or trains or sports equipment. I asked for the home version of all the game shows. So I had The Price is Right, and Wheel of Fortune, Sale of the Century, Concentration, Jeopardy, right? And on Christmas Day, I had the $10,000 pyramid, and when inflation hit, I had for the $25,000 pyramid. I had all of them. I had all of these shows as a board game. So I would sit at home, and on Christmas Day, it was great because my mom might play a game with me, but after Christmas Day, nobody ever wanted to play a game show with me. So for years and years, till I was even a teenager, I learned to play the game shows by myself. I would be like the game show host and 3 random contestants. And I would play the game shows all the time because nobody would play them with me. And I had the best rainy days at home growing up in upstate New York playing game shows by myself. But I didn't just do the host and the contestants. I also loved presenting myself the prizes. So I would be the game show model. Now, I'm really... So let's say I was playing, I had lost at Concentration, and I was the contestant who both had to get the consolation prize. Nobody was home when I would do this. And I would go out and say, I noticed this earlier. And so maybe I had won this squash as a consolation prize. I would present it to myself. And if I had been playing with Price is Right, and I had won, maybe this table came up, right? I present it to myself. I really did. If I had won the fabulous showdown, I would present my parents' living room to myself. I know what you're thinking. That guy is really good at that. Years went by, and I told only a few people that I had this obsession until I found them off, and I told everybody. So after college, some girlfriends of mine asked me, they said, hey Mike, we have an idea. They just wanted to use my car to help them move to California, but they said, you can live with us for free, and you are gonna audition for all those game shows. So I didn't do Habitat for Humanity or Backpack Europe, no. I went to the mecca of game shows and lived with these girlfriends of mine and auditioned for 20 game shows. And so I got on 4. And you know, the first one that called me was called Password, which, it was Super Password. And the rumor was on the day of the taping that it wasn't that day of the taping, it was going to be the next day of the taping that Betty White was going to be the contestant. And I said, oh my God, she is going to love me and make me her pool boy. I really kind of thought that this could happen. So on the day of the taping, I happened to be picked for the Monday show. They do 5 shows in one day, right? You have to change your clothes and pretend it's Tuesday. So the Monday show, I win. The Tuesday show, I win. The Wednesday show, I win. The Thursday show, I win. The Friday show, in the last 2 minutes of the Friday taping, because the next day of taping would have been Betty White, I lost. So I had to drive home, sadly, at the end of that summer, to become an electrical engineer. Like rolling. And, but in 1999, I met somebody who I thought, okay, I'm going to propose to her. And so at 1999, what was the most popular game show on TV? Think about it.
Was it Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes! I loved that show, right? So I decided I was going to have a party. And I invited about 100 people, and we played a game called Who Wants to Be a $50-Millionaire? So I made up all these questions. We picked people's names out of the hat, right? And I made sure this person was the last person picked, right? So I had a friend who was being sort of the host, bringing people up, and I was asking them questions, and I was flipping a flip chart with questions, and these questions were easy. The first 9 questions were easy. We played tennis. It was all like, how many games are in a set? What country did Bjorn Borg come from, right? You know, stuff, silly stuff, right? How many balls are in a tennis can, right? And so, get to the last question, I flipped the chart, and it was, will you marry me?
Oh,
yeah. Quickly, this person looked at me and looked at everybody. I need a lifeline. I want to phone a friend. And actually, I thought, oh my God, that is so brilliant that I had actually found the alternate to my obsession with Betty White right then. And we're still married today.
Hold on, we have questions.
What?
I have a question first.
Okay.
Do you remember what tripped you up at the end of Password? What couldn't you? How did you screw? Did you screw it up?
I screwed it up.
Okay.
I knew what I should have done. Okay.
Who was your partner? By the way?
Tom Poston.
Oh.
Right? And Marla Gibbs, the maid from the Jeffersons. She'd never played the game before. But Tom Poston, and he was wasted. What?
For people that don't know who Tom Poston is.
Oh, Tom Poston, he was like on Mork and Mindy. He wrote the card. He was friends with like Bob Newhart. They were in Suzanne Plachette. I don't know, maybe, yeah, I know. People, you've got no idea. The Newhart show, Bob Newhart, right? He would have been on there.
So you guys know how Password works, right?
Like Password is a vocabulary game.
You're supposed to get them, you say the word, you're trying to get them to say it.
Salt, and you fill it in with shaker or something like that, right? It's a one-word clue.
So what happened? How did you get,
the word, oh, man, so mad. The word was alphabet. Okay, the word that I lost on was alphabet. Now, you couldn't do actions or anything, and so I said to Marla Gibbs, of course, I said, I couldn't think of anything, and so I said letters. Of course, she said mail, right? The clue I should have done, I thought, took me just after the show, I realized, oh, you can sing your clues. Yeah. So what I should have said was, letters, right? And then you would have known I was talking about alphabet. Yeah. I think about that, obviously, to this day. Because, you want to hear something really weird? The woman, she was an attorney from New York, awesome person. I hadn't talked to her. The episodes actually came up on the Buzzr channel because I watched game shows at least 1 hour a day, and I actually Facebooked the woman that I lost to, and she responded a couple weeks ago. I don't know what prompted me to do it. I said, "Are you the attorney who beat me in the last minute?" Yeah. And she actually responded to me. Right. I tried to be as non-creepy as possible. Right, so it was, but yeah, so I said, yeah, I'm still obsessed with game shows. She just gave me a thumbs up.
And what other game shows were you on?
I was on Wheel of Torture. Mm-hmm. I was on a special week. They had me do I was on singles week, so I had to do commercials. I was a single guy at the time, and oh my God, that was so. But I did get a wonderful picture with Vanna White. And so, they did commercials, and it was kind of those weird weeks where they have special weeks, like in a certain city. Yeah, that was that. And I was on a show called, do you remember Chuck Woolery? I wasn't on the dating show. I was on Scrabble. He had a show called Scrabble. Do you remember that one? Does anybody remember that show? Oh God, that's so bad. And then I got on $25,000 pyramid. I know. All of those password I was chanting for a week. I crashed and burned and everything on the other three because I got greedy.
How much money did you play?
I was champ for a week and I never won the big money. But I did win $3,100 and twice I got a case of creamette noodles in the mail. A big, huge box. And beach towels and some purses made out of polyester that smelled really bad and I threw them away. And a lot of sunscreen, and all this stuff came in the mail. And then when the show would repeat, if it ever repeated again, you didn't win the money again, but you got all the consolation prizes again. So 6 months later, another big box of cremettes came to my door. I didn't even know it had aired. All of a sudden I said, "Oh my God, the cremettes will not stop." So,
All right.
all right.
Any other?